What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Country Bunkers Trains. Hope you're doing good. As always, a big welcome to all of the new subscribers. It's post-war week once again, and we have a stunning pair of Postwar Lionel engines to take a peek at. A couple more of those staple items. Today, I figured we'd take a quick look at this beautiful pair of 2340 GG1's offered by Postwar Lionel. Beautiful engines. As I was saying earlier, I think this is one of them staple items. If you're a post-war collector, you gotta have a GG1 in the collection, of course. The GG1 has had a long history with Lionel. I want to say it's upwards of 24 different models or variations since the first one. That's quite a track record. And rightfully so. This is a beautiful engine. It seems to get revisited every few years and remade or redone. It all started in 1947 with the introduction of the 2332 GG1. This is kind of a unique model when compared with the rest, as it only had one singular motor and a unique vibrator box type horn. This model did not offer magnet traction. However, it was available for 3 years through 1949. The GG1 reappeared in 1950 as the 2330. This model offered dual motors, magnet traction, operating headlights on each end, and couplers. However, this model was only available for 1 year in 1950. You could only get this model in the Brunswick green paint scheme. After 1950, the GG1 disappeared from Lionel for 4 years. It reappeared in 1955 as the 2340, which is what you see here. It also came available with the Tuscan red paint scheme alongside the Brunswick green. As you can see, these engines offered the 5-stripe pinstriping going down the sides as well. The Tuscan red headed a beautiful and highly sought after and collected congressional set with 4 passenger cars, whereas the green was designated more towards freight. This model was available for 1 year as well, as in 1956 the 2360 GG1 was introduced and was available for 3 years through 1958. It disappeared once more and reappeared in 1961 to be offered again for 3 years through 1963. This was the last post-war Lionel GG1 offered. As you can see, these 2340s kind of fall into the middle of the production run of GG1s. This is also when the Tuscan red was first made available. The Tuscan red is a little bit harder to find over the Brunswick green. I'd love to get a matching set of the 4 passenger cars to go along with it to build the congressional set. I think that'd be pretty cool. These engines offer sheet metal frames, die-cast bodies, functional pantographs, magnet traction, an operating headlight and couplers on each end, as well as a 5-stripe pinstriping running down the sides. These engines also offer an operating horn, which is pretty much the same as what's found in the post-war F3s, the same style. The stripes and lettering on the sides of these engines were rubber stamped onto the die-cast bodies. These markings are extremely fragile. After years of handling and running, you'll notice on pretty much all of these models, they are extremely faded or in some instances completely missing. If you are viewing an engine or looking to purchase one where the seller is claiming these stripes and markings to be original, I would be very and highly cautious. Obviously, yes, there will be some models out there that still retain their original stripes and markings. However, be prepared to pay dearly for them. Both of these engines that you see here have been restored and repainted. There was a gentleman by the name of Elliot Wells back in the 70s and throughout the 80s who was highly revered and sought after by collectors who repainted these. This was his specialty, redoing Lionel GG1's. He did a great job. You'll know that he did these as he signed the interior of the shells after he repainted them. His signature is on the interior shells of both of these units. Being older restorations, these do pass or almost look original nowadays. As I say, obviously they're not, but these were restored probably 30, 40 years ago. So nowadays they look original. Some collectors might look down on these engines being repainted and restored. Me personally, I don't. I'm not in it for the money side of it. I'm in it for enjoyment and having fun with them. I'd much rather have these looking the way they do versus an original or a nice original with missing stripes, if that makes any kind of sense. Both of these engines, as I say, are in extremely good shape. I've serviced both of them and lubed them, and they both run great. I will say they're not as great or as smooth a runners as my post-war F3s. These having die-cast bodies are extremely heavy. Coupling that with the fact that these have 20 wheels underneath them, they're not quite as smooth as an F3 or another post-war model. They do run great, like I say, nothing to take away from them, but they're not quite as smooth as the other engines. They take a little bit more power. Once in a while, I'll notice they get hung up on a curve, stuff like that. I do run them and enjoy them, but I usually have these on the shelves more for display. But once in a while, I do love to get them down and run them. They're great to see running around the layout. This Tuscan red one I got from a local collector. In fact, it was the same gentleman I got the 2354 New York Central F3 and 2353 Santa Fe F3 from. As I say, gorgeous engine. He had this in his collection for many, many years, but he didn't run it a whole lot. He mainly kept this one stored and put up. I got my hands on it and went through it, re-lubed it, and got her running again. As I was saying previously, it runs great, but it's not as smooth of a runner as the post-war F3s. But she looks fabulous. Like I say, it's an older restoration, so nicks in the paint. And as I was mentioning, when I had the shell off to service it, I found Elliot's signature inside the shell, which I thought was pretty cool. The Brunswick green one I got from a local train show. It caught my eye on one of the vendor's tables. While looking it over and admiring how beautiful it is, I got to talking with the vendor, and he informed me this one too was restored by Elliot Wells. When I got it home and was servicing it and had the shell off, I found once again his signature underneath the shell. I thought it was really cool to be able to get a green one and a red one restored by him and have them together. Like I say, some might frown upon that. I don't personally. I think it's pretty cool. And like I say, he did a hell of a job on these. And like I was mentioning, they're older restorations, so they're not pristine or mint anymore. You can see it's got scratches in them, stuff like that. But when you compare these to an original engine with the stripes completely faded or missing, this looks tenfold better to me. But she's a looker. She's a beautiful engine. Unfortunately, like quite a few of my other post-war engines, the horns are not working in either one of these at the moment. I might get those fixed. And as I was saying earlier, the pantographs on these engines are operational if you would like them to be. Obviously, I am running them in the standard 3-rail configuration. I really only have one line at the moment, my inner 031 loop, where I can run the engines with the pantographs up. But let's go ahead and get these beauties running. I hope you guys enjoyed this little look at the 2340 GG1 offered by Postwar Lionel. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. Until next time, guys, my name is Zach, and this is Country Bunkers Trains. Y'all take care. I'll see you the next go-around.